The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it is a Tuesday here inside the SWBC podcast studio, and this is Mick Shots, brought to you by Miller Lite. It seems more like Friday, though, because we've got a game on Thursday. And I've got one question right off the top, because it was so easy to get a parking place here today.
It was so easy driving here today.
Actually, you drive in the afternoon this week, and it's like everyone's out Christmas shopping already or something. The highways are flooded with people.
I'm just now realizing why the parking lot is so
because it's Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, it's like
so
8 parking places up there. I'm like, what is happening?
That's my question. Do people in the real world, not in this fantasy world that we live in, do they just take off all week for Thanksgiving?
I think
back in the day, we went to school until Wednesday.
Absolutely.
And then we got Thursday and Friday off, whatever. But now, obviously, there's no school this week. And then do people just take off all week?
That's why there's so much travel going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do know that Cowboy football players themselves,
Microphone.
the holidays mean nothing to us and our families.
That's
because
right.
we're always working.
The last holiday's July 4th. You're working all the rest.
That's crazy. I never really had a Thanksgiving. You know, back when you played, you just never had one.
Friday.
You know, the way the NBA,
Yeah.
the way the NFL, that's right, even Labor Day you're working.
Yeah.
Because they've started game week for there's not a game, the NFL does not have games on Labor Day weekend anymore, but it's for the media and for now players will get off on Labor Day weekend, but they've got to be back to work by Monday, Labor Day.
Christmas
Labor
Eve,
Day,
Christmas.
Labor Day, you labor.
That was the first day of the season.
That was the thing. Labor Day, you labor.
Yeah.
And no other way to put it.
Yep. So anyway, so it's a great time for tours here at the Star in Frisco.
There's some going on.
Don't start.
There'll be more tomorrow.
We just won a game, guys. We don't
I would
want
say,
them in the way.
I would say for those of you coming into town, tomorrow would be a great day to take a tour here.
No, absolutely.
You might be able to tap on windows and see players and stuff getting ready for
Just
the game.
Don't get in Bill's way so he loses his concentration.
All right, it's a different schedule today because we've got the Mike McCarthy press conference coming up middle afternoon, sometime this afternoon, right?
And then practice is 3:30.
Later practice.
2:30 Mike, I think.
And then the locker room availability is like at 5 o'clock today.
Yeah.
So we push it back because of the short week. We did have Jerry Jones on the radio this morning and making some breaking news headlines across the country today. Would you like to fill us in, Mickey, on what those breaking news headlines are?
Which one is the
fact that Mike
certain
McCarthy has
possibility that Mike McCarthy could be back next year? I mean,
what did they say?
That's what Jerry said.
Oh, okay.
They asked him.
Okay.
And he said...
They asked him if he's going to be back next year?
They said, is there, everybody's assuming he's not going to be back next year. Is there any validity to that? And he goes... So
they were going through the back door to try to figure out whether...
Yeah, because they probably have already said it, right? It was like the question they asked
let's ask him this way. Let's say, but, there's an assumption out there. Is he assuming the same thing?
And they were proponents...
Jerry is no fool.
You're right.
He may be old, but he's no fool.
They were also proponents of tanking, right? So they asked that question too.
I don't know how do you tank? How does that work? You just don't play what?
Yeah,
people.
Don't, because they're playing everybody right now, right?
Right. No, we're not playing people.
Yeah, you don't play
hurt.
Everson, you don't play your starting quarterback. You play your backup.
Okay. Well, we're tanking then. You don't play your defense. You don't play your first.
And
two,
you know they don't.
You don't play your first two defensive ends. We've been tanking all year.
The Pro Bowl, the ones who made the Pro Bowl last year or any time in their career, they don't play.
Well,
and that's
didn't.
what happened last game.
That's what happened. 5 guys made the Pro Bowlers did not play.
Oh, but Cavante Turpin did play, and so that ruined the day.
Oh yeah.
Well, he spoiled.
As soon as we sit him
Cavante spoiled the draft pick.
As soon as we sit him down.
So if you need to know, how to ask questions, don't say, "Well, we think you should tank." Other people are saying you should tank. What do you have to say about that?
That's right.
It's other people, not us.
No. It's other people be the guy next to him. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Other people, this guy over here.
And that's true, too, by the way, when it was asked. Because they want draft picks.
All right, so what's the most memorable play that came out of Sunday's game against Washington? This is sort of rhetorical.
That's easy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Turpin.
Turpin, right.
Yeah, it's Turpin.
All right, so let's just take it a step further. That if you want this team to tank, okay, and so you're going to sit all the players who can actually win the game for you, then you would not have that moment of watching Cavante Turpin, and you would not have the moments where 31 points are scored in the last 3 minutes of the game. There is value in the present, in what's happening right now. And forget about draft picks.
It leads to unforgettable moments.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
So
there's value in that.
That's when Jerry then told his story about how important winning is in a game in the NFL. No matter what your record is, winning is important. And I've heard this story 100 times, but he told the story about he's got a signed football from 1989, the only game they won.
Bring that up.
And he said he's got it up on his mantle. He said I don't know why he mentioned Herschel Walker, because by the time you won that game, Herschel was gone.
Yeah.
Right. I think because it was the 9th game of the season. You guys were 0-8, and he talks about how he's got this ball, and somebody came up to him and said, "Well, Jerry, why do you have this ball on display? You only won 1 game." And he goes, "Because it was my first win as an owner, and we won a game.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of the fact that they gave me a ball for the win."
And it means something different to every person. You know, to me, I played against Doug. You know, and to most of the guys out there, this is that was still a rivalry. So, you know, everything that goes into that, it's still relevant. You know, got my only interception that season. For that season.
Right, but you remember it, right?
But I remembered that game. So
And we just brought it up. He talked about it yesterday.
Yeah. So come on, man. I was proud of that.
35 years later.
I got 57, but that one, without that one, I only have 56.
And so people don't understand. If you prepare for something, you want to win. How do you tell Turpin to slow down? Don't do
something great. Do something great this game because we're tanking.
He's a restricted free agent next year. He's got to worry about making money. You think Josh Butler doesn't want to play hard? Yeah. It's his second NFL start in his career at 28 years old.
By the way, I sent the video out to all the ladies in my family, and they're like, whew.
The cool jazz?
Yeah.
Oh, the one that...
Yeah, I sent it out to the ladies of the family.
Pretty brown skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
they're like, he plays. He don't need to play.
I mean,
I love that.
You think T.J. Bass doesn't want to play well?
Yeah.
You're going to tell him to turn it down? He comes into the league as an undrafted free agent. He's a second-year player, barely gets to play. He's going to play his heart out. So, yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's hard to tank a game and everyone is not involved, right?
You got so many.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's not like basketball, right? You only got 5 guys out there.
It's kind of like you have the rumors out there, and I don't know, I guess true or not, of Super Bowls that have been tanked, or big championship games that have been tanked. And I think they had a game that I was involved in. And so my thing is, I didn't get the memo. You know, I don't. You know, you got to let everybody know.
Sort of like the Black Sox scandal.
Right, exactly.
They didn't tell all 9
They
guys.
didn't tell everybody. So, you know, to be able to tank that, there was some games where they talked about the Super Bowl where they thought that Earl Morrall blew the Colts
Yeah.
Jets.
The Joe Namath Super Bowl.
They were saying
guarantee.
that Earl Morrall threw the game.
What?
You know.
Did
Yeah.
he make money for it?
They said, one of the players, I think Deacon Jones, he said if he was, I think, you know.
Well, Deacon wouldn't have been involved in that game, but because he played for the Rams.
Who was the other big mean guy for the Colts? He was for the Colts.
Big Daddy Lipscomb?
No, he's
Bubba
big
Smith.
brother, Bubba Smith.
There you go.
Bubba Smith said if he ever sees Earl Morrall or something, he's gonna choke him or something.
Really? I
Yeah.
gotta
Look it
go
up.
find this story.
That's why I said when I said come out with stuff, you know, I have my truth finder. I have my truth finder right here. So if I'm wrong, I will admit it all here on the air.
Okay, I'll go
Yeah.
searching for that.
You know, and I'm sure there's people thinking, well, the Giants are tanking. Yeah. No, they're saving salary cap money.
Right.
Well, the reason
They didn't want Jones to get hurt.
and by the way, the reason that you tank is for what? A
Yeah.
higher-
Draft picks.
and
Are
usually
you
it would be for a
guaranteed?
quarterback.
Right.
Okay, and you've got your quarterback. Okay, and by the way, there have been picks. How many times have picks been made in the top 5 that did not turn out to be good by various teams?
Right. And that was Jerry's point. There's no
I mean,
guarantee.
How about Micah Parsons? Okay, who the Cowboys traded down and drafted one of the best players on the team, one of the best defensive players in the league.
He hadn't gotten the memo yet.
And had the
'Cause
Cowboys
he's playing
been
hard.
and had the Cowboys pick 5th in that draft instead of, I think they had the 10th pick and they traded down to 11 or something, whatever they did from 9 to 11. All right, if they had the 5th pick, they wouldn't have drafted Micah Parsons. They probably would have drafted a cornerback or somebody, you know, because of need. So just because you've got a higher draft pick doesn't mean you're going to draft a better player either. The way things shake out in the draft. I mean, look how many
Good point.
great players in this organization were taken mid to late first round. So anyway,
It's a dumb thought.
it is. All right. So
I guess I could have picked a better word, but it's a dumb thought.
what else did you gather out of? Was there another headline that?
See, that was 2 of them.
Okay, so the tanking headline and the McCarthy headline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just talking about how hard these guys have played. They might have played well, but they've played hard.
Good point.
And the fact that they got all these young guys playing, and Jerry said that they're improved and they're going to get better going forward for next year. That's important that you win some games. Now, the other thing is, and Bill brought it up yesterday, they're playing 2-9, 4-6. Trying to remember
3-8 or whatever
3,
Carolina
whatever
is.
Cincinnati.
Carolina is.
Oh, Carolina.
And then
Tampa Bay's got a
Tampa
losing
Bay
record right now.
4-6. I
They're
think
liable to have a winning record by the time
Yeah.
the Cowboys play them. But your point is,
there's teams of your own ilk that you're now going to face, and maybe you can win them. And it doesn't matter if it's home or away. I mean, if you look at the teams they lost at home, they're all in first or second place except for New Orleans.
if you go back to the history of this team, because the Cowboys couldn't win on the road last year, the year before, right?
Right.
And if you go back and look at who they played on the road versus at home, it typically is the better teams they played at home this year and the better teams they played on the road last year. And so that is what was reflective of why you have a worse or better home versus road record.
And it's like the perception that always was out there that the Cowboys had the advantage on Thanksgiving playing at home on a short week, right? Well, when they were good, they won on Thanksgiving. When they sucked, they lost on Thanksgiving.
Been there.
Didn't matter.
Well, the thing about the media, this is just the way it goes. It's a story either way.
Yeah.
It's a story either way.
Right.
They can sit up here and throw out all of these rumors and give credence to it. Ask him a question, no matter what his answer may be, Jerry or Kevin or Mike McCarthy, you're going to be, they're going to overanalyze those words. And in the meantime, you're talking about people out there who are, like you said, trying to do their job. They're trying to carve out a living for themselves in the NFL, whether it's practice squad, whether you're coming from another team trying to prove yourself, you got to drag your family with you. And so there's all this speculation, but then you've got individuals who are going to be targets of those speculations. You see? So when you make a determination about an individual, and everyone talks about how, that they give credence to that. So then this individual may pop out and undo all of that, by him being a stronger person. He got through it all. Whatever that was that you were throwing at him, well, he's gotten through it all now. Well, the media won't say, hey, man, we're sorry. They're going to say, that's another story. Mm-hmm. So it's always a story. You see what I'm saying? You're going to win either way as media, right. And it's up to us to be the characters in the game. You see, because now it's like, well, let's say Michael Downs. Michael Downs, he's not supposed to be here. He wasn't supposed to play as well as he did, and they'll go over all the reasons that Michael Downs should not be a good player.
Or if you want to put it in present day, Josh Butler.
Yes. Yeah. Right now we're going all the reasons that Josh Butler should not be here. Well, all of a sudden he comes in and starts making plays. Forget that copy, right? I'm going ahead with this one. Uh-huh. And you're going to contradict yourself in the meantime. But they don't care.
Yep.
They don't care about the contradiction. They won't go back and say, oh, man, I was wrong.
Yep.
In the process of
Here's why this guy wasn't drafted. He can't do this, can't do that. And then all of a sudden he starts playing well. He can't do this. He can do this. He can do that.
Sort of like
another story.
Sort of like all the stories before the Washington game on how Washington figured it out. They know how to win. They know how to run their organization. They're so far ahead of the Cowboys.
Certain individuals on this team on why Washington is going to do this.
Right.
So now you're sullying this guy's reputation in the process, and then all of a sudden he comes back and he plays well. You might mention that he played well or not. It doesn't matter because now we're moving on to the next.
And they pointed out all the players left the Cowboys to follow Quinn, who, by the way, had it all figured out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after the win, it's like, oh well, look what these guys did. Well, what about those guys you said were so good they left? Well, they left because they made more money.
The narrative changes just like that.
How about this one? So the Cowboys lost 5 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Then they win one. Mm-hmm. Somebody asked McCarthy yesterday. You've always said that when you lose, it's you get guys' attention, but now that you won one, do you worry about getting their attention? Huh? Seriously? You know what his answer was?
What?
He said, "We're still pretty far down in the valley of adversity. We got a lot of climbing to do."
Like he's going to lose control of this team.
They're going to eat the cheese.
Look at us.
Oh, man.
They were a missed extra point away from overtime against Washington. And
as you go back, you think about 1-15 season. Could you imagine all of the stories and the ideas going through reporters' heads on what to ask Jimmy now and what to ask Jerry now? I mean, come on, man. I'm surprised somebody didn't get into a fight. That's crazy.
Well, I won't get into it because we don't have time yet. But when we come back, I'll give you some real evidence of why they might still believe in that locker room when Mick Shots continues in a moment.
Good stuff. Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pregame sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Tis the season for youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Don't miss your chance to learn from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders at dance camps on December 27th and former NFL players at football camps on December 23rd and 27th. Celebrate the holidays with the Cowboys at football camps on December 20th. Okay, celebrate the Dallas Cowboys holidays with the Cowboys! ! Register today at DallasCowboys.com/camps.
Oh, that was very well done.
Yeah, that was good.
It was.
That was really
got my
good.
attention.
It did.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point on these.
Paying attention right
No,
now.
I would think. I thought he was talking about tree lighting or something.
No. Either way, it didn't work out.
That's why I like a commercial on television. If there's just silence,
Yeah.
like, okay, it starts off and then there's silence for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
What will you do?
What?
You'll look at the TV and say, "Oh, what's wrong with it?" That'll get your attention,
That's
right?
The rhythm broke. The rhythm was broken. Yes.
That's right. There's something wrong with the TV, and then they got you.
Yeah. Then that's when you come on. That's when you shine.
And it's kind of like this Cowboys season. They got off to a nice start in Cleveland, and then
Everything went quiet.
And even going up to the Pittsburgh game, okay, things are all right. And then there was silence for like 5 straight games.
3-2, right? 3-2.
And now they've got your attention again, okay? And I'm going to tell you why in that locker room.
Talk to me.
They have reason to believe. How many teams make the playoffs? You got your 4 division winners.
7.
And you got 3 wild cards, okay? So if you look at the wild card race right now in the NFC, you got the Minnesota Vikings. They would have the first wild card at 9-2, and the Green Bay Packers would have the second at 8-3. So who has the third wild card right now?
Washington.
That would be Washington at 7-5, a team the Cowboys just beat on their home field on Sunday. And if the Cowboys beat the Giants on Thursday, they will be exactly 2 games behind Washington for the third wild card spot in the NFC at 5-7, and the Commanders are at 7-5.
Can I go further?
Yes, you can.
So the other teams that are ahead of the Cowboys, Arizona, 6-5. So these are the non-first place
teams. Teams in the wild card hunt right now.
The Rams are 5-6. San Francisco's 5-6. Tampa Bay's 5-6. So when you're talking wild card at this point, it would be Minnesota 9-2, Green Bay 8-3, and Washington 7-5.
So let's just say it continues to play out where all those teams play at that same level or roughly, okay? And the Cowboys go on a roll against these teams without a winning record. And they get to Christmas, and they're basically at 500 or at will be 500 with three games left. They beat Tampa Bay right before Christmas. Now you're 8-7 with 2 games left, and you got Philadelphia and Washington left to play. Okay, the point is, all they have to do before the last game of the season, as if it plays out like we're suggesting it could, is be 1 game behind Washington going into the last game of the season, and they could be playing for a wild card spot.
That's correct.
Because all they have to do is be equal with Washington. They don't have to be ahead of Washington, because if they beat them, they'd have the tiebreaker on.
And that game won't be flexed the way everybody's suggesting already. It's going to be flexed.
Okay.
Because it's not going to mean
It already
anything.
has TBD, right?
Yeah.
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 But all of them are TBD right now.
Well, there was another one.
No, that was the only
What was
one
the
the
one that
Cowboys
they
said.
wanted?
Yeah, I'm saying that weekend.
I understand. Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
they want to
Gotcha.
The
have that
Cincinnati
Sunday night game be one that matters.
Cowboys game, could that be flexed? It's a Monday night game. Do they flex Monday night?
I don't think they,
No.
especially
it's the
at this
Cowboys.
late
The
date.
networks want them playing.
We're within 2 weeks of that game, too.
Especially if they lose.
And now, especially since the season was turned around on
That's right.
on Kevontae Turpin's turnaround kickoff return.
What a spin move it was. He spun the season around.
Okay, so that's reason there is still hope in that locker room. There may not be hope anywhere else, but in that locker room, there is still hope.
So I won't go through what we did with the Giants, but here's the people that are on the Cowboys injury report.
And he did this during the break. He went through the Giants injury report.
Yeah, because I only recognized a couple names. Sorry. Now, if somebody just looked at the Cowboys, would they recognize Deron Bland, Brandon Cooks, Trayvon Diggs, Jake Ferguson? He went to the Pro Bowl.
That's right. All 4 that you mentioned have been to Pro Bowls.
Eric Kendricks, CeeDee
Yes,
Lamb.
he's been to a Pro Bowl. He's been to a Pro Bowl.
Zach Martin.
He's been to several.
Tyler Smith.
He's been.
These are the guys that are on the Cowboys injury report. These are guys that have been to the Pro Bowl. Now, I don't know how many people know who.
And that's not even counting the Dak Prescotts and DeMarcus Lawrences.
Right, because they're not even on the team right now. So, yeah.
All right, so
Saying
who's
that,
playing on
yes.
Thursday?
So, my guess is Awesome Richards is out. He's got a high ankle sprain.
For real?
Yeah, he's got a high ankle sprain. So, probably a couple weeks. Jake Ferguson, as of yesterday, was still in the concussion protocol. It's going to be hard for him to get out of it in time. So maybe Cincinnati. Zach Martin on a short week. Tyler Smith on a short week.
They didn't even make the trip. Yeah. So
now, at least they got Tyler Smith as limited, so he probably has a chance. They also have Cooper Rush listed as limited, but Mike thought that he's got a little work to do, but he should be able to go.
there's a knee
issue. Brandon Cooks has a chance. They thought Brandon Cooks was going last week, and he did too.
Yeah.
He got to Friday, and something just wasn't right. And so.
He made the trip, though? Diggs did not.
Diggs did not. And he was limited.
Yeah.
And that said questionable. And I got a big 2 question marks after questionable.
Mm-hmm.
You're questionable. You're not out.
Yeah.
Should be on the plane.
Okay.
Right? Well, he wasn't. Just leave it at that.
Maybe something happened on Saturday.
Yeah. So Kendricks probably got his normal day off. Marshawn Nealon ended up with a little bit of we talked about him yesterday. CD
What did we say about him yesterday? I don't remember.
That he was going to get 20-some snaps.
And he got 19 snaps.
And a lot of it
But
had
he
to
did,
do.
and so he was fine coming out of the game.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So he can go again on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Lewis, they projected him full after missing the game. You know he'll.
Jordan played.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That was the week before.
Yeah.
Sorry. Right. Hunter Lipke.
He's good to go.
Calf full.
And he played.
So the rest of them.
So my question is on the offensive line. It looks like they may get Tyler Smith back at left guard on Thursday.
Maybe not Zach.
Right.
Guyton's,
and so what do you do? So then TJ goes over and plays right guard for Zach Martin, and Brock Hoffman's your swing inside offensive lineman. And you've got Tyler Guyton, who came out of the game for Awesome Richards after he struggled there in the second half. He came back in, and then he got another penalty.
He came back in.
Okay. And then you also had Chuma Edoga.
He has to be the swing tackle.
Okay. So is there a chance, in your estimation, since Chuma has been injured all season, but he was ready this past week, and now he's the guy that takes Awesome Richards' spot as the next man in at tackle. So would they be as quick on the trigger putting Chuma into the game if Tyler Guyton struggles against Kayvon Thibodeau? Remember when Guyton went up against Thibodeau the last time?
He struggled.
He did. And Thibodeau just came back this past week from injury himself, but he played this past week.
But that was, the third game of the season?
Mm-hmm.
That was end of September, yeah.
And some of those calls were
Yes.
thought were a little bit.
There was just some spin move activity he was doing Cavante Turpin on him a little bit.
It's like the holding call he got Sunday. Guyton.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the guy blocked, and guy's fallen, and he just shoves him to the ground and jumps on
It's
top.
kind of the Connor Williams holds.
Yeah.
Remember,
or the ones that Tyler Smith was getting his rookie year.
Connor Williams would be.
Don't go to the ground with him, because it looks like you held him and you threw him down there. Guy was already fallen. That's it. He's done.
And that's kind of what happened in the New York game. He was blocking him, but he wanted to really drive him, right? Yeah. And then that's where he got in trouble.
The mean streak. Got to
well, you got to
take the mean streak.
You take it out. You got to know when to apply it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He forgot to back off and tank, right?
Right.
Did you see how hard they were hitting on defense, by the way? Yeah. Some of the tackles they were making?
Flying up.
Right?
Yeah.
To the last kickoff return. No, I hope that guy's good. Eckler?
Yes. Yeah, the white running back.
Your favorite.
The white running back. And you spell his name Ekeler, okay? I don't know where that E got in there between the K and the L.
That's the Creole.
Right? But, I mean, even on some of those tackles on the sideline, when they were trying to get someone down, guys were flying in there. I don't know that I've seen that as much.
There are times, man, when things just come together. And that's why you got to let everybody know when you're tanking.
And it sounds like the Giants were tanking on Sunday. The comments coming out of their locker room.
I don't know.
They were playing soft, apparently.
There are times I talked to you about the Cardinals game, '87, when we got guys all out of position, everybody's hurt. We got Steve Diassi at outside linebacker, guys. If you got to know Steve Diassi, it don't work. That does not fit. He does not run. He lumbers.
But if you tank for a quarterback. And the Giants have a reason to tank because they need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. You don't like DeVito?
Maybe it wasn't.
Uh-oh. Where are we going now?
No, I was looking for the Cardinals game.
Yeah.
Arizona,
what game are you looking at? This year?
He's looking for the game.
You're only the media guy.
87.
In 87. Oh.
No, it didn't.
Talk to me. It was at close to the end of the season.
Oh, it was still St. Louis then. St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
You played them the first game of the season and the last game of the season. Maybe it was a different year.
What happened in the last game of the season?
You beat them 21-16.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the game.
With Diassi at linebacker.
With Diassi and Jeff Rohr.
And they were doing what?
They were actually playing well.
He was saying who had to play.
Out of position, though.
Out of position.
Yeah. Like I said, it'd be like putting me at strong safety when I played. Worse than that, because I could have done decently, but Steve Diassi had never played outside linebacker. That's a position of fluidity. You know,
He maybe middle if he was playing linebacker.
well,
right?
yes, that's what his play. He played.
Yeah.
He's a middle linebacker. He is all that. But when you switch, that's like saying having
Block of
Eugene
granite.
Lockhart.
He's the block of
Yes,
granite in
yes,
the
he
middle.
is.
He's the 1935 Red
Rudibaker.
Grange middle linebacker.
He's that Carter Rudibaker or something. He's that.
He's not. He doesn't have the athleticism of a Chuck Howley.
He does
even
not.
going back to that.
He won't be a Ferrari. He would be a dump truck.
You realize you lost 4 games in a row that year.
That's right.
And then you stepped on the gas the last 2 and beat the Rams and beat the Cardinals.
With that group of linebackers, that's my point.
To get to 7 and 8.
To get to 7 and 8. So think about that. That's the comparison to that and now is pretty spot on. Pretty spot on. You got guys all out of position, and they played well. They played well. Diassi was sniffing out plays between linebackers and combos with fullbacks and running backs. It was something to behold.
And thanks to the replacement players, you got off to a 3-1 start.
I'm looking at his Wikipedia, Steve Diassi's Wikipedia page, and this perhaps will paint a picture of what Steve Diassi looked like as a football player. If you ever watched the Flintstones,
yes.
His nickname was Barney Rubble.
That is a good nickname.
I thought it was Red because he always had this red face, right?
They nicknamed him Beach Ball.
There you go.
Yeah, Beach Ball.
Because he was more than red.
Because
He
of the
was
many
all-
shades of color his
colors.
face would turn in the sun.
And then, I hope you're not eating, but when you're in the locker room, you see more than that, and there were more shades to come along with it. It was ugly.
I think there's only 2 guys probably on that team that maybe slept the most during the noon hour when we were in there. Diassi and Tutal.
Yeah. And both of them for good reason.
Yeah. There was some sleeping going on.
One other note from the Wikipedia page on Steve Diassi, as described by Bill Belichick in a 2011 press conference, Diassi's ability to snap the ball and block in the same play was exploited by the Cowboys to spread the punt formations and use less blockers, revolutionizing the punt game.
So true.
Okay.
And his son followed in those footsteps.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Zach Diassi.
Zach Diassi just retired.
And
about
in
3 years ago.
1989, though, Steve Diassi clashed with the new coaching staff that was brought in by Jimmy Johnson, was traded to the Giants.
And when I say he was one of those players that didn't care what the narrative was when it came to his style of play, whether he started or not. In most games, he didn't start in New York. Gary Reasons was one of our middle linebackers.
Out of Crowley, Texas.
Out of Crowley, Texas. He has a stadium named after him in Crowley, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And he was injured. Steve comes in along with Pepper Johnson. On Friday when they weigh in, they're about 255. By the time the game starts on Sunday, they're about 275. And we played up against teams that tried to run the ball up the middle. And this is the first time I heard the term bust the bubble. And that's what they did. The guards were uncovered. They came out to meet our 2 middle linebackers, and there was no getting past them. That was the most impressive streak of run defense I've ever been a part of in my entire life. I think we went on 3 straight games without Reasons, and Diassi was in there. I don't know why they didn't try to exploit him more on passing, but they tried to run the ball, and I could see it. They would hit the guards so hard you know where CTE comes from. They would hit them so hard. There was nothing in there. Barry Sanders was a victim of it. The Detroit Lions was a victim of it. I saw Barry Sanders afraid. I saw him afraid. You could see it. When he got the ball, he was not trying to run. He was trying to fall. I had never seen anything like that. And Steve Diassi and Pepper Johnson, you put those two guys in the middle, you don't burst that bubble. Yeah, not at all. It was so impressive. We went on a 3-game win streak after we had finally lost a couple of games because we thought we were going to be undefeated that year. But after we lost a couple of games, I think we went on a 2 or 3 game win streak simply because our defensive linebackers played so well. And when it came down to it, Gary Reasons couldn't wait to get back and get his job back because he was about to lose it.
Because of that.
Because of Steve Diassi and how effective we were at playing against him.
And Diassi leaving opened the door for another deep snapper character.
Dale Hellestrade.
Hellestrade.
I guess they're all characters, right?
I remember when he walked in the locker room, and I was sitting next to Nate, and Nate's going, "Who are we bringing in here?" He didn't realize he was the deep snapper.
Just the deep snapper.
Right?
He wasn't built like a lineman, right? He was built more like a trucker.
Yeah, because they even traded for him, I believe, because he was with the Raiders.
Yep, that's right.
And they traded for Dale Hellestrade.
He wasn't made for mobility. He was made to just snap the ball. Right?
And it was always amazing when I saw him run downfield and make a tackle. Like punt
and
coverage.
And this says a lot about the Cowboys. It's when your deep snapper has his own radio show.
Wow.
And that says it's America's team.
Yeah.
That's right. And one other note on deep snappers, the Diassis. Steve Diassi and Zach Diassi, the only father-son combination to win Super Bowls with the same team.
Same team. That's right.
All right, we continue with Mick Shots in a moment.
Good stuff.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
Capture a frame-worthy family holiday photo with Santa at the Star, presented by Monument Realty. Santa will be spreading holiday cheer at his Cowboys-themed cottage in the Star District from November 22nd through December 24th. For more information and to book your visit, head to, and this is one word, thestardistrict.com/Santa. One word, thestardistrict.com/Santa.
So he's going to be there Friday night?
He's going to be there Friday night.
I think he was there this past Friday night, too.
Might be going to a high school game there Friday night.
Oh, really? Who's
that?
playing?
Who's playing?
Highland Park and Frisco Reedy.
That's right.
That's going to be a good one.
Randy Allen's Highland Park Scots.
Yes.
They got a sophomore quarterback named Buck Randall.
I saw that. What a great name, right?
All right, we got a couple minutes left here.
A couple things more from McCarthy on, I guess it was maybe the game. Wanye Thomas. Mm-hmm. He said, "Yeah, that was a no moss play."
Mm-hmm.
Who said that?
McCarthy.
McCarthy said that about 1 year.
Yeah, no moss. He said he should have gone down at the 1 yard line.
Mm-hmm. You could,
because if he went down, then the clock's running and
I'm gonna score, bro.
It goes out. Yeah,
sorry, bro. I'm scoring.
So Everson, the thought would have run through your mind to fall down, right?
I am not gonna lie to you. It would not have even been a run through anywhere. I was going to score. I would have scored.
Wanye admitted that it went through his mind, though, right?
It wouldn't have even gone through my mind.
No, he said it did.
It would not. It would not.
I said it.
If we can't hold them off.
Well, you got it in your own hands, though, to stop the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Now, Wanye would, too,
right.
I guess, being a DB.
Yeah.
Now, having said that about Wanye, there was the play on the goal line where an edge was not set. The touchdown run.
Oh, yes.
And it was evident that defensive players immediately went to him and said, "You got to set the edge."
It was Parsons, I believe.
Yeah, I saw.
And there were others too that were headed his direction.
Because I'm sure that's what he was thinking. Okay, we all know what we got to do here, and he assumed, I guess, everyone's on the same page. We got to set the edge. He was part of it, but he wasn't to set it. He was supposed to fill it.
He kind of got taken out too, didn't he?
Well, you got to get over. You got to
get out there. Because he went in instead of staying.
Well, if you go in and yet you have someone there still to set the edge.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's your responsibility to set the edge in that situation, then you set.
I don't think it was
really
his.
Well, the defensive end didn't help out.
I think the defensive end was supposed to set it, and he was going to make his move, yet still hoping that edge would be set. That's what I was thinking.
I'm just going off of Micah's reaction. I think it was Golston too. They were both went in the direction of Wanye, and
just knowing people, I don't think Parsons would be upset at someone unless it was valid.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Also, Josh Butler did get a game ball. Sound like he was going to be a captain this week also.
Yeah.
And I suggested this after the game. McCarthy was pretty even keel when he came in there, and I'm thinking after I lost 5 games in a row and I win one like that, man, I'm coming in there like a storm, right? And I suggested he should have got up there and said, "How about them Cowboys?" But
nah, this ain't the moment.
That ain't the moment. That ain't his personality.
And it's not good timing yet. The timing isn't there.
That's why, Mickey, you're doing Mick shots.
That's right. And I can throw them out on Mick shots, by the way.
Oh, man.
No. They're still in a valley of adversity, Mickey.
That's right. The valley of adversity.
I like that. That's pretty deep. Mm-hmm. Pretty deep.
And they'll stay even with a victory Thursday,
like,
and a victory in the next week, and a victory the next week.
Who'd they beat?
They're going to remain in the valley of adversity for a while. And that's a good place to be, in the valley of adversity.
So the 2 out of 3 teams, 2 out of 4.
Oh, look at this. DeVito was limited in practice, and Locke will get reps in practice. Better watch out for Drew Lock.
I wonder if we'll have a letdown, guys.
You don't have enough time to think about it.
Yeah, we're already down.
The letdown would come the Cincinnati game.
Yeah.
Get this one. If you win this one, and now you got a whole weekend long, we got the mini bye to decide that you're all that again. So, all right, we're out of time.
Already?
Yep.
Already.
You're going to be here tomorrow, Everson?
I'm going to be here.
All right, very good.
And we have to leave on time tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, okay. You got an appearance
we got
to
our
make?
Star Sports Tour reception
So you're the one responsible for these tours going through here.
That's right. Everyone's coming to see
That's
Mickey.
When we
that's
leave,
why you're
we'll
not
shake
critical
hands.
of the tours.
We'll shake hands all the way out the door.
Hey, keep those tours coming, guys.
That's right.
Okay, and we will shout at you again tomorrow before the tour starts at high noon.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?